Hello, I'm Tali Alexander, and I'm the author of the novel Love and Rewind, and I will be doing an exclusive reading today for Chapter 1 Live. Chapter 1, Love Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Louis, are you up? Baby, please, you gotta wake up, I cried out as I woke up covered in cold sweat, trying to pull awake my sleeping husband beside me. What is it, Em? He mumbled groggily in a disoriented state. Are the kids calling? Are they okay? Em, are you all right? Shit, what's wrong? He asked in a now worried tone as he sat up. The bed dipped. I could feel him turning to face me in the darkness. Louis, the kids are fine. It's me. I just had a horrible dream about us. It didn't even feel like a dream. It felt so real. I took another deep breath to try and shake away the images still flickering in my mind. We were making love. No, not love. We were fucking, but not each other. I was watching you having sex with another woman. You were happy. I was crying, begging you to stop. It was so painful to watch. The sick part was that you were watching someone else fuck me, and you were smiling and nodding. You had this expression on your face as if watching me with another man turned you on. It was so perverse. I can't even keep these images out of my head. I looked at my husband, hoping he felt how vulnerable I was at that moment. He needed to take me in his arms and obliterate my nightmare with his soft lips, his gentle hands, and soothing words. He was supposed to tell me how much he loved me, only me and no one else. Hearing me say that in my sick dream he enjoyed watching someone else have sex with me should have made him enraged and outraged simultaneously. The man I married would have gone on an imaginary crusade into my subconscious to annihilate any man looking at me, let alone fucking me. But tonight, there was no war, just silence. Baby, I need you to touch me, I begged him in the dark. Even I could hear how desperate I sounded. Louis, you have to make love to me. It's been too long, I commanded while trying to pull him close to me. I couldn't see his eyes in the dimness of the night. All I saw was his face cast in dark shadows looking away from me. He was moving his head from side to side and irritably sneering. He had to know how much I needed him to reassure me that he would never, ever be intimate like that with another woman. Say something! I'm falling to pieces in front of you and you won't even make a move to touch me? I yelled at him, trying to get close to him. He moved further away from me on our big bed, while tears silently rolled down my face at his lack of emotion and coldness. How could he not attempt to console me after my heartfelt plea? He turned to look at his watch laying on the nightstand. What time is it? Fuck, are you crazy? It's 5 o'clock. It's still dark outside. I have a meeting in less than 3 hours. Let me sleep, for God's sake, Em. Forget about that stupid dream and calm down. You need to just go back to sleep. Don't get yourself all worked up over nothing. With that, Louis turned his back on me and my tears. To add insult to injury, he murmured to himself, Can't believe you woke me up for this shit. Then he went back to sleep as if nothing had happened. There was no hug, no kiss, and no contact whatsoever. I was hoping this was still part of my nightmare. I wasn't that lucky. With tear-stained cheeks, I lay on my side of the bed, shaking and screaming on the inside, yet strangely still and quiet on the outside. Was the man sleeping beside me really my Louis? I looked down at my now blissfully sleeping husband. I didn't quite believe what I was hearing or not hearing from this man who once upon a time couldn't get enough of me. Where was the man who promised to move heaven and earth to make sure I was his and no one else's? I took small, shallow breaths to try to calm the tremor inside. I kept counting from 100 to keep myself from screaming out loud and frightening the kids. He doesn't want me, kept repeating in my head. He doesn't need me. He doesn't love me. What did I do wrong? How did I let us get to this fucked up point in our love story? I realized sadly that even in my dreams, I couldn't have Louis the way I once did. I woke up a few hours later, numb, cold, and broken. I was all alone, both physically and emotionally. That was when I knew our happily ever after had gone terribly wrong. 95 days. That's how long it's been since I last had sex with my husband. I shouldn't be sad or pity myself, right? I lived a life. I have a great man who adores and loves me, or did once. Louis works incredibly hard. He has built up his New York-based real estate development firm from nothing to a billion-dollar company in less than 15 years. We have 2 beautiful kids, Rose, who just turned 8 2 weeks ago, and Eric, who's almost 4. I gave up running an event company with my sister to stay home with the kids and be there. My husband wanted me to always be available for him. We live in New York City the majority of the year. Our Upper East Side townhouse was once an embassy and takes up a good half of a New York City block. If I walk a few feet to the right, I'd be in Central Park, and if I take a few steps to the left, I'd be on Madison Avenue, the shopping mecca for the rich and famous. I have a need for nothing. I have a live-in nanny, a housekeeper, a cook, a driver, a masseuse, and a trainer. However, I would give it all up to have my husband want me like he once did. I'm 29 years old, but I feel like I'm 80. You couldn't tell that I suffer from depression and self-loathing by looking at me. On the outside, I'm glowing and happy. I'm skinny thanks to Andre, my personal trainer. I look 21 thanks to Botox and my mom, who's a dermatologist and keeps my skin looking young and flawless. Bergdorf Goodman keeps me dressed like a movie star, and yet neither Armay nor Van Cleef can put a genuine smile on my face these days. Some who don't know me would say Emily Bruel is just another spoiled little rich bitch. Well, that's why I keep my mouth shut. I don't complain, I take it as it comes, and yes, I thank my lucky stars. But I'm starting to think that if I keep going at this pace, I'll lose the love of my life. That was an excerpt from Chapter 1, and this is Love and Rewind. If you'd like to read more, you can purchase the book with any of the links provided below. Thank you for listening.